Yo, what is going on? This is Andrew, known as EURJPY Pip Administration. Welcome back to another weekly analysis. It is Sunday, November 7th, 2021, 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's get into it. So, we're going to start with GBPUSD. If you're new to the channel, by the way, make sure you like this, subscribe to the channel, keep us motivated, put this content out every day. It's really all I ask for. If you go back in the last week's analysis and just kind of look at the trades that I've been sending, I've been sending straight gold. So all I ask for is for you guys to subscribe, like, comment, maybe share it to another trader that needs to see this. So let's get into it. GBPUSD, as you can see, throughout the week we sold off very aggressive, right? On the daily chart, we had the FOMC meeting and we also had non-farm payroll, right? So if you look at what's happened, we sold off very hard. We had 150 pip sell off the other day. So bears are pretty much in control here. But if you look at what's happened on Friday, due to NFP, we had support, found from these lows. So there is an ABCD like structure starting to form. So right now, it's kind of, in an indecisive state, right? So what you guys got to keep in mind is that we are bearish on the long term, and we are looking for a reaction to these key levels listed. So right here, we're looking for a reaction to this key level right here. As you can see, we dropped into this 1.35140 key zone, right? But overall, all buyers' liquidity is above this 1.35700 key level. Now, if you drop over to the hourly chart, right, we are sort of starting to form this inverted crown-like structure. That doesn't mean that we're going to bounce, but we are going to look for a reaction to this 1.35700 key zone, where possible bear traps can set up for that buy opportunity up to that buyer's liquidity level. So you guys got to realize that all buyer liquidity is above this trend line and this trend line and these resistance levels listed, right? So overall, you do want to trade in the downside because overall we are bearish on the weekly chart. But if you look at what's happening, on the daily chart and on the hourly chart, we are bullish for the short term until, we have a reason to short. So, depending on what we get, into New York session, London session, if this thing sets up, say, right here, this is sort of starting to form this crown-like pattern. We trap bears, come back into value, then we trade towards that buyer liquidity level. Okay, that's GBPUSD. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM, Instagram.com/EURJPY. I know this may sound a little confusing, but if you're looking at the setups on a daily, weekly basis, over time, I think you're gonna start to understand what I'm talking about. So that is GBPUSD, GBPJpy. So on the weekly chart, same thing. We had this strong sell-off. If you go back in last week's analysis, I called the sell-off up from here. I said exactly what it was going to do. I said we were going to come in, reject, and then later into the week we did. If you want, you could go back, watch the video. I'm not making this crap up. I really did call all this shit. You could look back in the other videos to see how these things play out, if you want to build the confidence. Because I'm not saying anything. I mean, a lot of traders, for you guys to actually need to take the trades, you guys need to see that the edge works, right? So go back in the last week's analysis, you'll see that I called this word for word, and the things that I say are pretty accurate. So let me get back into it. GBPJpy now. If you see what has happened on the weekly chart, we sold off very aggressive, just like GBPUSD. So there must have been some pound news that happened last week that caused the sell-off, because if you look at all the other pairs versus yen or the dollar, those pairs didn't sell off, like Euro USD, so on and so forth. So GBPJpy, we sold off very hard, right? So now we're approaching this key support level on the daily chart, this 153.370 key level, right? So bears are in control on the long term, but on the daily chart, I think we need to set up some price action before bearish momentum can continue, right? So if you look at the daily chart, we are at this key support level right here, this 153.360 key zone. Now if you look above that, other key resistance levels would be that 154 600 key zone. Now if you come over to the hourly chart, then you look at the way this thing sold off. It sold off, very weak structure. Yes, it is bearish, but I do think we need to get buyers before seller momentum is possible, right? So, like I said, let me just redo this real quick. So, GBPJPY, we sold off on the week. We're approaching that key support level of 153 400 key support, right? Which is right here on the daily chart. On the hourly chart, as you can see, we are still bearish, but we have this weak price action structure, right? So all the buyers' liquidity is near this trend line over here and this trend line right here. So I think we might want to come up and retest that 154 650 key zone. So I would wait for all sellers to, but I wouldn't get greedy with this because, like I said, we are bearish on the long term. So you guys do want to trade with the bearish momentum. You don't want to be in denial. So if it's reading, bullish on the short term, you kind of want to trade with what you see, right? But keep in mind that overall, direction, right? So GBPJPY, right? Bears are strong. You guys do want to wait for sellers to become exhausted somewhere below, this 152 600 key level, or this trend line even, and look for a reaction to these key levels right here. So this is really where all buyers liquidity is, this 153 670 key zone, right? So there is a possibility that we can see bull traps there, but I think we are going to push up a little bit higher. So you want to look for sellers to become exhausted somewhere down here to trade towards that buyer liquidity level at that 153 650 key zone. Then look for a reaction, play it by day there. Don't get greedy with the trend. You guys just want to just take the damn trade. Risk is a risk. Risk is a risk. So one more little quick overview. GBPJPY, bearish on the week. Daily chart, we sold off very aggressive. We're approaching that support level 153 400 key zone. I think we need a little bit more price action before bearish momentum can continue. So basically just wait for sellers to become exhausted to trade towards that buyer liquidity level. Wait for price action to set up somewhere over here, maybe even over here, and wait for the opportunity to set up, right? So that is GBPJPY. Now not GBP, EURUSD, right? EURUSD, we've been consolidating on the week. As you can see, we drop back into this value over here. So right now, I do believe that EURUSD is reading downward momentum for the time being. EURUSD on the daily chart, if you look at what's happened, we had this bull trap to this key level. And then we found support at that double bottom level, right? So there is a possibility that this candle gets taken out and then moves to a newer low, right? But that is not confirmed until this candle is taken out. So if on Monday this candle is taken out, we're going to look for short opportunities into the week. But if you look on the hourly chart, we are reading upward momentum. We do have this Gartley-like pattern. So I do think price wants to push up to this level. But we do got to keep in mind that overall we are bearish. So if this thing is going to continue to move down, this candle needs to be engulfed, then maybe we could look for short opportunities Tuesday if that happens. But looking at this right now, it is reading an ABCD like pattern to the upside. So I would wait for bears to be trapped somewhere over here, maybe on the 15-minute chart, to trade towards the buyer liquidity level up there, because I do think we need a little bit more price action before that sell-off happens, right? So if but it could happen at any moment. So if this thing gets engulfed on the daily chart, we're going to look for short opportunities later into the week. All buyer liquidity is above this trend line. And these key levels listed, probably this trend line, that's probably where we're going to push to, because usually when I see these Gartley-like patterns, we always push to that, that move, So I know a lot of people aren't used to trading the Gartleys. Look it up, Gartley. I don't know. To be honest with you, I just make up these names for my fucking self. So don't quote me on the bullshit, but I just know what I see, and that's that. So we got this garlic-like pattern. Let me go over it real quick. We'll go over it real quick. So Euro USD weekly chart, we indecisive, right? Indecisive on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, we had this bullish engulfing. Then we found support at that double bottom key level, right? On the hourly chart, we got this garlic-like pattern, so it is reading upside at the moment. All buyer liquidity is above these key levels listed, these trend lines. All seller liquidity is somewhere down here. Maybe this level, this 1.15600 key level, that's a strong key level on the daily chart. So I would look for a reaction there. Maybe find something on a 15-minute chart, so on, so forth. So if you look over here on the 15-minute chart, it's that garlic-like pattern I was explaining before, and that's that. So all the key resistance is up there. Yeah, you just want to play it by day, guys. All right, so that is Euro USD. Gold. Now I know I recapped this on the weekly chart, but if you guys have access to my premium trade ideas, I have called almost everything on this. You know, even though I know last week I did call a sell off, but I am a day trader, so I adapt to the market. I play it by day, right? But if you look at, you know, I called this move over here on Thursday night or some shit like that. It said trade it towards that buyer liquidity, and that's what happened. We found support at that key level, and that's what happened. So sorry, I got a little off topic. Gold, last but not least, on the weekly chart, we consolidated. As you can see, we're kind of in this range with gold between 1764 and 1802, right? So if you look on the hourly chart, we have this inverted crown. I've had this in mind the whole time. You know, we had this inverted crown. We tapped this 3 times. Usually when you see something like that, it does push through. So I do think that gold wants to push to that 1832 level eventually, right? So on the hourly chart, but I don't think it's gonna do it right away, right? Because of these impulse waves. So you don't want to chase the trade right away. You kind of want to wait for things to calm down, right? When you see something like that, right? So keep in mind that we tapped this resistance level. We are reading this inverted crown-like structure. We tapped this level 3 times, right? So I think we might be pushing towards that second trend line up there. But, you know, we need to wait for price action to set up first, wait for support to be held somewhere over here, and then maybe trade towards that level if the opportunity sets up, right? So quick little overview. Gold, we're in this range, right? On the daily chart, we have this inverted crown-like structure. We're approaching that resistance level at 1832 key zone. We tapped that level almost 4 times, so I think we're gonna push through. But the structure is very weak due to this, you know, impulse wave from non-farm payroll. So on Monday, today into Monday, you just want to wait for price action to kind of calm down, set up somewhere down here. You know, that 1808 key support level is what we're looking for. As you can see right here, this 1807, we're looking for support at that level right there. So we might, you know, consolidate into Monday, you know, find support there. Depending on how we react to this trend line, will give us our decision. So if we, you know, say if it depends on the candle. It really does depend on the candle. So like, say we come in, you know, we form structure where it's like bullish price action, then we could trade towards that level. But, you know, you guys got to keep in mind that there is a possibility that it could be a bull trap if it does come back into the trend line on a daily chart. Say we get a wick, right? And then on Tuesday it closes back in value, the short may set up, right? So keep in mind on that, right? So if we hold this level, you know, look for bear traps to that level, you know, or, you know, I can't really be, I'm not here for the future right now, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but it really depends on how we react to this trend line retest. So, you know, I think Monday we're gonna consolidate, you know, depending on what happens into Monday. that'll give us our decision. But like I said, usually when you see 3 to 4 times, it does push through. So I'm thinking that we're gonna hold and then push through. So wait for price action to set up somewhere at this 1808 key level, and then trade what you guys see. All right, guys. So let's do a quick little overview. That way, before I wrap this shit up. So we'll start with GBPUSD. GBPUSD, like I said, we're bearish on the week, strongly bearish on the week. On the daily chart, we have this wick at this trend line. We are watching these key resistance levels at this 1.35, 140 key zone, and we're also watching this 1.35, 700 key zone. On the hourly chart, as you can see, we have this wick. It is forming an ABCD-like structure. All buyers' liquidity is above these trend lines and these resistance levels overall, and all sellers' liquidity is down below these levels. So if we get bear traps somewhere above here, trade towards the buyer liquidity, and if we get bull traps over there, you know, we might be able to trade towards the overall direction. But on the short term, due to the daily chart, we are reading, you know, a bounce. So you guys want to see, just react to what you see. So like I said, all sellers below this level, trade towards buyer liquidity from there, or, you know, wait for price action to set up somewhere over there where all buyer liquidity is, and so on and so forth. GBPUSD, GPJpy, we have the sell off on the weekly chart, just like GBPUSD. Daily chart, we're approaching that key support at 153.400. On the hourly chart, I do think we need a same thing as GBPUSD. I think we need price action to set up somewhere before more downside is possible. So I'd wait for sellers to become exhausted to trade towards the buyer liquidity on GBPJpy, right? EURUSD, bearish on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, we have these bull traps to these key levels right over here. On the daily chart, like I said, we have bull traps to this key level over here. But we found support at that double bottom key level over here, right? So depending on what happens on Monday, say if we engulf this wick, more downside momentum will be possible. Lower lows will continue. But due to the hourly chart, we are reading this Gartley-like pattern. So upside does look like it's there at the moment. All buyer liquidity is above this trend line and these levels listed. So I'll just wait for bear traps, probably, you know, to this 1.15600 key level to trade towards, you know, the buyer liquidity level, right? And then play it by day from there. So this is one of the key levels right here, this 1.15600, 800, 130, and 600, so on and so forth. All right, guys. Wait, am I done yet? No, we got one more. I just went over this, but we'll go over it again. Gold, we're in this range. Daily chart, we have this strong impulse wave. We want to wait for things to kind of slow down before we do anything. We're looking for a reaction to this trend line and this key support level at 1807 key support, which is over here, right there, right? So on the hourly chart, we have strong bullish price action. We're in a consolidation stage, so I think price is going to, you know, maybe come down on Monday, find support, and then move towards that, you know, inverted crown resistance, which is right here, right? So wait for things to settle down, wait for price action to set up, then trade towards that level with the bear traps. If you guys are in the premium trade ideas, I'm gonna update you guys. I'm gonna keep you guys posted. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like this shit, subscribe to the channel, keep us motivated, put this content out every fucking day, and I hope you guys have a fantastic fucking Sunday. If you guys want to learn how to do this, and I really fucking don't like selling shit, but, you know, people message me sometimes. So if you guys really want to learn how to do this, it's all on my Instagram.com/ZeroJawDrew. In the bio, I have everything you need. Learning how to get started, learning how to, you know, mark up the charts, learning how to actually fucking trade, you know, depending on what you want to get out of this game, you know, I pretty much got. Just shoot me a DM if you have any questions. I'll probably give you a lot of free content before I even charge you a fucking penny. So, but there's certain things that I am going to charge for. Like, I send out premium trade ideas every single day. That's $9 a month. It's really not much money, but if you want to be updated on this shit, it's worth it in my opinion. But that's $9 a month. The markup, I have a markup course where it teaches you guys strictly how to mark up these charts. That's a cheap course. That one's only $45. And if you want the more intense course, right now we're doing it for $200 when it's normally $500, so it's 60% off. So I don't know how long it's going to be 60% off, because the value that's in that course is worth thousands of dollars. So if you guys have questions, shoot me a DM, Instagram.com/ZeroJarJew. Love you guys so fucking much. Have a fantastic fucking Sunday. Peace.